What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having a great day and summer. Today, I'm going to cover the top 5 potential buys you should look at adding to your collection in the month of August and September. And it's not because there's only a week left of August, I promise. And it's also not because there may be a potential Mega Evolution drop later on this month or in September. So, yes, with that, guys, let's try and get into this. But before we do, I got a plug. Plug. So if you want to check out and support my socials, here they are. Consider doing so. It would greatly, support the channel, and I, greatly appreciate it as well. I thought I'd also take the time to briefly explain a Pokemon cycle to you in terms of a booster box. I feel like it's important to understand it on a high level as to why we normally invest over a 5 to 10 year period. I think right now a lot of people, and it's easy to do, guys, a lot of people are getting caught up in the next 6-month return, the 3-month return, what's happening in the next year. Guys, anything could happen in a year, right? I just want to get that through. And the best way to do it is by my expertly drawn graph, very technical. And there's only one place to start, and that's pre-release. Not everything is pre-released. Obviously, booster boxes are not really pre-released, but maybe some sneaky factory stuff might sell a box on the sly, and then that gets out there. So the prices at the start tend to be very high. Obviously, that's well known for Pokemon, and then you get the release. You get this massive influx of supply. Demand tries to eat away over it, over a period of time, and this is what we call the print window. And in this time, Pokemon can choose to reprint product. They can, have as many reprints as they want. In fact, because it all really depends on demand and what is happening with prices. Right now, what we're seeing is Pokemon are really opting to reprint things multiple times. So what they tend to do is at the minute anyway, a smaller release schedule that compared to what they normally do. And then what happens is prices normally bottom out around this first point here, and then they tend to do mini reprints through the year. And we can see that with Prismatic, loads of things are getting reprinted through the year. ... Maybe not massive initial like the first wave release prints, but constant printing of product is being done. And it's interesting to see them change, because obviously normally you just get massive print, and then sometimes they wouldn't even come back and print it because they thought, oh, it's done, but some things, I think most sets these days are gonna end up getting reprints. I doubt there'll be a set where Pokemon don't come back to it, because just the prices, guys, the prices are so high right now. Anyway, yeah, that's what we call the print window. And then what happens after we get some reprints in the first, this print window for scale, guys, this print windows can be 2 to 3 years, right? So this all happens in a 2 to 3 year span. What happens after that? Obviously, the supply drops off, the demand stays relatively constant, and you get an initial maybe FOMO spike, right? And then people, it hits a barrier where people want to sell their investment product, and it hits a bit of a ceiling. Some people are happy to take gains at this point, and it dips off a bit, and then it runs up again, dips off, and then what we normally see is a blow off top maybe, and then the bear market, right? And that's what you got to account for. No one knows how low it's going to go. No one knows when the top is, but that is essentially a life cycle. And then maybe the hype comes back and demand 10 years down the road, and we go again, right? For the older product, because then it starts accumulating massive age at this point. We're talking 10, 15 years there. So this is what normally happens. What we're seeing right now, which is important, guys, very important to understand, is we're seeing this massive decline at the start and a sudden rebound in a V-shape pattern, because Pokemon haven't printed enough at the start to meet demand. And the only thing that's going to happen is it's going to come straight. It's going to work its way back down, or it levels out, and we're not going to see this massive trough and back up. We're going to see either a V shape straight away, and then you know, sort of fading out to equal this level before we go higher after the print window ends. You know, or we just get rid of this dip completely, and we stay at elevated levels, and it's really hard to make money off release prices now and going forward, because Pokemon really are focusing on these reprints going through the year, because they're trying to catch up with the other set that they just printed, you know, and it's sort of catch-22. They're trying to catch up, and eventually demand will soften and they will catch up, but there's so much. There's so much. But I just thought I'd take 5 minutes to sort of explain my thesis on where booster boxes tend to go. A perfect example of this is Chilling Reign, Fusion Strike, those types of products where we're seeing this nice staircase. We're seeing staircases up, and eventually, I'd assume we'll get this massive spike in price, massive in a very short amount of time, and then we'll go into a sell-off for whatever reason, macro demand, whatever. But that is my thesis, but it's important to note that, you know, if you buy a booster box anywhere here release, you know, eventually it will get up somewhere. If it's a good set, it will accumulate in value, and that's the point of investing, guys, and that is why we're here. So on to number 5. This again, Prismatic SPC. I'm saying under 120. That's my heart, right? That's my heart, but my brain is saying this is 160, 170 now. Is that the bottom? And to be honest, I don't want to miss this product, because I would love to get it for 90 at MSRP. I don't know where people are still buying these from at MSRP at 90. Lucky them. I just want to keep them in my closet. You know, I just want to sit on them, because Prismatic is whatever. I don't care what anyone says, guys. It is not going to be shining fates. It is just not going to be shining fates. I've seen a lot of that on the internet right now, and I could not disagree more. So 170, 160. I'll come back to it, but I'm thinking deeply about that. But you know, 120 would be perfect. So number 4, I got a mixture for you guys, because there's Pokemon are going to be doing little bites and little cheeky restocks every now and again. Victini Poster Collection, I think that is a great product. I loved the Arceus V collection back in Sword and Shield. It reminds me a lot about that, although you don't get the differential of packs. It's just holiday set, black and white, but still, I love the artwork, love the promo. I think it'll do well long term, guys. It doesn't, you know, people I think are sleeping on black bottom white flare. It's too confusing for them. But the set value is there, guys. The set value is there. I think is very investable. People seem to have their doubts about Gen 5. I think it should be fine. I really do think it should be fine. And yes, it's not the original 151. I think it will be fine, right? I love Gen 5. Some people love Gen 5. I'm not sure who they are, but they're with me. All right? And obviously, Pokemon are still printing and working their way through getting some more 151 out. It could keep coming. It really could. So I always keep my eye out for 151. Very is always dropping some 151, some Prismatic bundles. There's always some bundle restock. You just have to be ultra lightning fast, which I'm not. So I always miss it, which is peak. But I'm hoping to get some different stuff through Journey Together, which I'm hoping the Pokemon Center might drop. You have a higher chance on there, trust me. And I know that's how bad it is. That is how bad it is. But it is a higher chance, I promise. Getting Journey Together, I think they might end up doing a cheeky restock at some point. Not sure if they're going to redo the booster box on the box topper, right? They've obviously got the box topper Reshiram. On the Pokemon Center in the UK. Anyway, it's exclusive. I'm not sure if we're going to see that. I'm really not. They might just send normal booster boxes, and the Pokemon Center might not get it, right? But this is what I'm keeping my eye out. My money will immediately flow into things like this. All right, immediately flow. Now, number 3, we're doing Black Bolt and White Flare. Like I say, guys, I think this set is really slept on. The set value is there. Go on Pokedata, whatever you have to do to check the set value, and reconfirm that there is a lot of value there for you guys. You know, there's so many illustration rares. Obviously the Victini and the monochrome cards. That, you know, the obviously the Reshiram, the Zekrom, the monochrome cards are keeping value right now because the hit rate is so low, which is important for long term growth and value in terms of sealed. And there's also obviously the great illustration, special illustration rares. Sorry, the Zekrom, the Reshiram. They are banging cards, guys. Now, obviously, there's so many printed, but the sealed will do great. I really think the sealed will do really amazing things. And obviously, there's no booster box with this set, so the next best thing is the PC ETBs. Obviously, talking about PC ETBs, guys, Mega Evolutions #2. This When this gets released, it's going to be interesting to see if the restock comes out on release, because it did not for Prismatic. So it just tells me Pokemon are constantly behind, guys. They're constantly fighting to keep up with demand. Just it is a constant battle for them. But this set is also interesting that they're doing the gold cards right. They're really doing the gold cards right, in my opinion. And it is scary to see this demand just keep going into the Mega Evolution era. And you know, who knows what's going to happen with all the other illustration rares in this set, and the other mega sets coming up, guys, because obviously there's some interesting heat coming our way. But Mega Evolution should be fine as a decent investment for the Mega Block. And I I really do like the set. I love the Lucario gold card. I think that's going to drive some value in this set. So it's definitely on my buy, and I have pre-ordered, so I've got my pre-order in, but I will be instantly picking up more of this set if I can. But definitely the big hit is the booster box and the ETB for sure. But coming in at #1, something I've missed a lot of. I've only got one PC ETB, right? So I am looking massively out for Destined Rivals. I need this in my. I need it in the collection. It will drive future gains massively. I think it's going to be not Evolving Skies, but it will be definitely the leader in the booster box era for Scarlet and Violet. I do believe. I really think it'll probably beat Surgeon Sparks. It'll beat Journey Together easy, and it will be the leader in booster box territory. Will it be the ETB leader? No, not a chance. You've got 151. You've got Prismatic. It won't be the PC ETB leader, but booster box it will lead, which is important. You have to have exposure to things like this in your collection. But the other thing is, I'm stubborn on price, guys. You know me. I'm stubborn on price. I will not overpay if I can help it, and I will try my absolute best to get a booster box. Obviously, Very did drop it the other day, and I missed it by 2 seconds. It was 2 seconds, literally gone. It was gone, and I was so gutted. And it just shows you how fast you really have to be right now to get anything. But yeah, keep trying, guys. Just keep trying. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. But obviously, we have pre-orders coming up for Phantasmal Flames. We're not sure when, but we know they will be coming. So you guys have to keep an eye out for this. Keep an eye out on notification channels, because you do not want to miss this set, guys. If the leaks are anything like the cards are going to be, if the Charizard card is what the Charizard card is, this set it will most likely be one of the best performing sets. It might even beat Prismatic and other things, guys. Especially because they haven't released the Gengar yet, and you know, you're talking two of the biggest Pokemon in terms of chase, in terms of hype, in terms of collectability for collectors. It's huge, right? Outside of Umbreon, Charizard and Gengar are the ones that people really chase. So it's going to be interesting what this set brings. Just keep your eye out. Try and get as much of it as possible is my advice. Right? That's pretty much all you can do, because ultimately, guys, whenever this demand goes away and everything goes to zero, like some people think, you have a 10-year, 5-year horizon, right? You'll go blow past this bear market where everyone's selling everything. and I'll be buying it all without question, right, at low prices. You know, when that happens, you still need to buy stuff at MSRP. So just make sure you keep buying stuff at MSRP is the ticker, guys. But with that, that is me done. Thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you in the next video, guys. But if I don't, have a great rest of your day. See you in a bit.